Britain is about to witness the birth of robot wars.
This is Robot War. So are you ready for it?
Ultimately decide whether they emerge as winners or losers.
Robot Wars is back.
Are you ready for it?
As you've just seen, this show is bound to be a belter.
Roboteers, stand by. And number 16 seed, Storm 2.
What a fairy story it will be if these, the New Blood champions, could make it all the way.
Your robot is so pristine. It is the cleanest, most beautiful robot I have seen. Can we get a close-up of this robot? I mean, the wheels, that looks like sellotape. Surely it's not.
It's not sellotape, it's not sellotape. It's got a very technical name, but it's not sellotape.
What's the technical name?
It's
Go
called
on.
65 Shaw Volcolon.
Sticky tape. Two 8.8 horsepower motors produce very quick 23-mile-an-hour top speeds, interchangeable active weapons. Hard to control at times, so difficult to stop here, I think, though. And on the left, first of all, Rhino, captained by Russell Orton, and Mayhem, Richard and Alan Wenham. And then on the left-hand side, Storm 2, Ed Hoppett and Tim Benson, Supernova and the Belendron family on the right. In the arena for the house robots, Sir Kill-A-Lot and his longtime partner, Matilda. Not the cheat kiss and tell. Oh, go on then.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Storm 2, starting bottom right of your picture, trundling away to try and take on Rhino. The newcomers with a little bit of a nudge and a push, nothing more than that. There's the drive, though. Can get up to top speed. Storm 2 at 23 miles an hour and slamming Rhino onto the arena sidewall. There's a little bash of Mayhem. Oh! Torn to shreds. Mayhem straight away. Turning into trouble. And one tyre ripped clean off. And Storm 2 under a little bit of pressure here from Rhino. Trying to get the horn in underneath Storm 2 and flick. But it's Rhino in peril. The Storm 2 drove it underneath. That's the end of Mayhem. Tyre off. Distressed. About to be retired, I think. Retired into oblivion. Rhino again, shoved by Storm 2 into the CPZ. That means he's Matilda's to play with. And look at that, the side of the arena itself buckling and torn away. The countdown to the end of Mayhem's dream. Splendid name, but I didn't think they'd be able to live up to it. And the one big shove. And they could never really get that 16-kilo, 2,000 RPM weaponry into action. Supernova, similar machine in many ways, bigger, slightly heavier. In underneath Rhino. Rhino been lifted there by Storm 2. You've seen the Storm 2 team, Ed Hoppett and Tim Benson there. And that's the end of Mayhem. There's Sir Kill-A-Lot. Oh, nuts and bolts and shards of metal coming off as Sir Kill-A-Lot positioned it on the floor. Flipper. Oh, again, look at the power of the drive. Poor old Mayhem's getting terrible punishment out there. There's a track come off. Is that Kill-A-Lot? Yes, it is. Kill-A-Lot's track has come off. Mayhem thrust through the air, bounced out, nuts and bolts coming off, and then look at this, into Sir Kill-A-Lot, and that is when the damage was caused. Storm 2 driving Supernova into Kill-A-Lot. Off came the track. We're seeing, once again, punishment for Mayhem. A little tyre rolling across the arena in the distance there, behind the Mayhem team. They are relentless, the house robots. Terrifying. Now, can the Rhino team survive? Oh, I don't think Supernova will. Storm 2 gets up a full head of steam, lifts and drives across the arena floor. And very few robots in this heat, let alone this battle. And I think in this series of Robot Wars will survive this machine, Storm 2, on what I've seen already. Supernova certainly didn't. They just slammed them. Slam them into a wall. The blade is spinning, but there is no forward momentum. Supernova from the 1 horsepower, 750-watt motor, and the little pirouette from Storm 2. Rhino just about moving. Supernova counted out. I'm not too sure how fit Rhino will be to fight on. Supernova gone. Storm 2 worthy winners.
From Matilda, Storm 2 and Rhino, they're through to the next round.
This machine is more of a rammer.
Yes.
Is that true?
Very much so. We originally called it a full-body hammer. Along the lines of the full-body spinners, we just have so much power to push.
Exactly how much power are we talking about when you say?
On the drive, we've got 18 horsepower.
That's up there with Tornado, isn't it?
It's higher than Tornado.
It is. They're 70.
They're about 7 to 8 horsepower.
You going to win?
Hopefully.
You winning?
Yep.
Winning?
Probably.
Trax.
John Wayne, a Muppet. John Wayne had true grit. Wonder if Trax will live to rue those comments. Shane Swan, Andrew Shepherd, Paul Morton.
Storm 2.
They've got a cavalry more horsepower in there. Ed Hoppett, Tim Bence, Merrill Collett.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the House Robots, Mr. Psycho takes no prisoners. Neither does Growler. Unruly.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
This for a place in the Heat final. Storm 2. Just trying to get side on to slam into Trax. Very clever manoeuvring there by the Storm 2 boys so they could get a side-on slam and bang Trax into the arena side walls. Now, from the rear, causing major damage, I would imagine. No, Trax okay. Durable, sturdy. They're being pushed all over the shop here. This is a question surely of when, not if. Storm 2 using its lifting weapon, but as we've heard before, the main weaponry of Storm 2 in its great pushing power. Similar in many ways to Tornado, could even be stronger. Tentative this time, is it? No! Again, well planned, well manoeuvred, but Trax doing splendidly, simply to survive here. Shane Swan driving. You're only supposed to touch it. Down goes the pit. They've destroyed our pit release mechanism. Trax is on the floor flipper as well, wants to get away from there. Pit, pit, pit. West Ham fan in there. You know all about descending into pits of despair from recent seasons. Storm 2, little lift on Trax. The sparks are flying. Well, I can only commend the durability of this machine. Its first experience in the war zone in Robot Wars. It may not win this one. It's tracked, it's different. Oh, goodness me, it was nearly suicidal. How about that hammer coming down? Still Trax away. Storm 2 can't finish the bar. You really don't want to be that close in there to Mr. Psycho. The pit is descended. The seconds are ticking down. Trax goes skittering across the floor. He knew what he was doing. Trying to draw Storm 2 on, actually. Follow me, if you like. Follow me down to the pit. The Storm 2 is having none of it. It'll go to the judges. Surely a technicality. Very, very good fight, though. Good fun.
Well, a bruising encounter. Both robots still mobile. We're going to have to go to the judges. Well, judges have made their decision. You know the criteria by now. They've gone for Storm! How does it compare being up against veteran robots? Robots forged in the heat of battle.
There's a lot more experience here at the moment, so whereas in the New Blood it was sort of everyone was at the same level of experience in the arena, we only have that New Blood experience to fall back on.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's more competitive, certainly.
Your Storm's a bit of a tornado, really, isn't it?
Well, we've made some changes. You kept
It's a
going on
push box like Tornado,
It's
isn't
a
it?
push box, but it's twice as fast, so we hit them into the walls a lot faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Storm!
Okay, Storm 2, heat final. You're up against Steel Avenger. What's your tactics?
Okay, well, Steel Avenger's a real veteran. We haven't seen them for a couple of wars, but they're back again, and they're doing rather well for an old robot. The advantage we've got is that they're not built as strong as some of them are these days. So we're hoping that a few good knocks into some arena walls or some house robots will dislodge something and bend them enough to stop them moving. Failing that, it's going to be the pit for them, I'm afraid.
This is what the war zone was made for. This is the heat final.
Steel Avenger.
Can it last the distance? John Willoughby, Jackie Willoughby, Tony Bates will have their thoughts.
Storm 2.
Ed Hoppett, Tim Bence and Merrill Kolak very confident, I would imagine, with Storm 2.
Roboteers, stand by.
Who are our confident machines in the arena? Growler and Cassius Chrome.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Storm 2, already off and underway. Up to 23 miles an hour, top speeds. Oh, Steel Avenger has pinned itself onto the floor and was lucky to get away. The 1 centimetre ground clearance exposed as Storm 2 drove in underneath again. 18 horsepower. Tries to take on the ref bot Storm 2. In underneath Steel Avenger again. Let me remind you, they were New Blood champions, Storm 2. They won that title to qualify for this, the UK Series, the 7th Wars. And they are taking it by storm. But Steel Avenger, as we've mentioned time and time again, so experienced, fighting in a 4th Wars and buffeting Storm 2, not causing great damage, I would imagine. What are they trying to do? Just wear Storm 2 down by dancing away. Storm 2 pressurising. Steel Avenger running away. And again turning for safety in space. In the war zone. Pursue! Crumpled out! Gone! Storm 2, the heat winners, and through to the series semi-final. And a shake of the head by John Willoughby because he knew Steel Avenger, simply in the end, couldn't avoid defeat. Storm 2 picked it up, drove, and hammered it out. The power of the charge rippled the plexiglass that surrounds the Warzone arena. And the Storm 2 team delighted.
Who needs a flipper when you've got a robot like that? Steel Avenger out of the arena. Storm 2, they go through to the series semi-finals!
Didn't expect that to happen.
Did you not?
We thought we'll just pummel them into the corner, and before we knew it, they were just off.
It was just a massive blow, though.
Well, I don't think we've really ever rammed someone into the wall as hard as we can. We've never really given it full throttle across the whole arena with someone on the front, and we thought, let's see what happens. And now we know.
It must be quite satisfying all that way to see it come together in such explosive, in such an explosive way. It must feel great.
It is. It's been a lot of work to get a weapon in there. We know New Blood winner, and we did that without a weapon. It took so much work to get the weapon in there. It's great to see it still performing as it did in Robot Wars Extreme in the New Blood.
Well, listen, you're through to the series semi-finals. Loads of flippers. How do you think you're going to live up to them?
The biggest worry about a flipper is us getting near the edge and going out. We run both ways up, and we know it'll take the knocks. The knock it dishes out for itself. It has to take them.
Listen,
so we know it'll take the knocks, but we're worried about going out of the arena.
Listen, matey boy, with some of the flippers in those pits, you don't even need to be near the edge.
I know.
You know, they're so powerful now.
They've got to catch us first.
They can throw you clean out the arena. But you are probably the fastest robot. What is the top speed there?
It's 25 miles an hour. It's faster than Growler.
That's wicked, isn't it?
It's great fun to drive. It's like a big radio-controlled car.
How come it's got so much power?
The motors are particularly powerful. They're particularly specialist motors through some speed controls we've had custom designed by the Tornado team.
Yeah. So they helped you out there.
As adversarial as it all looks, we had a lot of help from Dave Gamble from Tornado.
Now, do you think they might be living or learning to regret that?
I think there's probably a certain element of, oh my God, what have we done?
What have we created? Well, they've created, or helped you create, a stunning robot.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you in the series semi-finals. Raise the roof for Storm 2!
from Ipswich in Suffolk, and number 16 seed, Storm 2.
Seeded after being crowned new blood champions.
You reckon you take Grim Reaper?
Yeah, it's performing well so far. We've not had to do any maintenance on it really between fights at all, other than just checking it over. We put the skirts on.
And what do your skirts do then?
The skirts are spring-loaded and they stop Grim Reaper getting under the sides of us. So they run absolutely flush to the ground.
Has 18 horsepower on the drive. That's a higher force than Tornado. 23 mile an hour top speeds, twice as fast as the Grim Reaper.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the two teams then. Storm 2 first, Ed Hoppett, Tim Bence and Merrill Kolak. And there's the Grim Reaper boys, Simon and Gary Smith and young Charlie Smith too. And there's their omnipresent shadow, and Sergeant Bash will shadow them in the arena, and Shunt too.
3, 2, 1, activate.
We've heard the insults fly, now will the sparks fly. Storm 2, look at that with the shove, 100 kilos behind it. 1 kilo heavier than the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper's ground clearance exposed only 0.6 of a centimetre, but Storm 2 has found its way through and will lever in underneath the Grim Reaper, and Grim Reaper's away. 12 miles an hour, can't dodge Storm 2 across the arena. Storm 2 is by far the faster, and to me is on top here. Goodness, we're going to have a strong lineup in the final of Robot Wars. The 7th Wars! Storm 2 pressurising. You can't outrun the Reaper, says the logo on the side of the green machine. And Storm 2 is furious. Storm 2 in underneath again and drives on. The pit release activated. The Grim Reaper is scuttling. The pit is descending. The time is draining out for the Grim Reaper. Storm 2 pushing again. The Grim Reaper simply cannot get its flipper to make any sort of definitive contact on Storm 2 because Storm 2 has the side skirt and the pace. Oh, look at the power behind that. It's ripped away one of the panels of the angle grinders at the side of the arena. I think the Grim Reaper is doing splendidly just to hold on here. Oh, until Sergeant Bash starts to crumple. One of the side panels nearly ripped away. They're still motoring and manoeuvring the Grim Reaper. This is not over yet. Ooh, I thought it might be there. The pit was yawning. Storm 2 by far the more aggressive. It's dramatic stuff, isn't it? The Grim Reaper needs to get away from there. For a moment I thought forward control had gone and they were stuck in reverse. They weren't, they're out. They're piggybacking. I'd stay up there if I were you. Storm 2 can't do any damage to you if you're there, or can they? Carry you to the side of the wall and then flip you out in Robot Wars. Something's come off. May have come off Shunt, actually. I think it is. Oh, it's his exhaust. It's come away. And Shunt without the exhaust pipe is rather a horrible thought. Down comes its axe. The Grim Reaper is upended, has come down. How many more flips and self-rights can it perform, though? I wonder. It's going to go to the judges, and this has been a terrific tussle. Storm 2 trying to finish it there and then and spinning away. The Grim Reaper on the flame pit. The judges will decide on style control, damage and aggression. Standing ovation, richly deserved. Two fine teams, Storm and the Grim Reaper.
What a right royal rumble that was. We're going to have to go to the judges. They'll be looking at style, control, damage and aggression. Grim Reaper, I've got a bit of extra help. While you're down there, can you give Noel a haircut? Before the break, we had a fantastic battle. The judges have finally made up their minds based on style, control, damage, aggression. And they've gone for Storm 2! Fair, really. Magnanimous in defeat. But you have got some robot, haven't you?
Yeah, we're quite happy with it.
How fast does it go?
About 25 miles an hour.
And it's very low to the ground, isn't it? And then
total height's about 160 millimetres.
Do you fear any flippers? Can anything get underneath you?
We'll have to see, but yeah, I think one or two might pose us a few more problems later on.
Yeah. What about the spinners? I mean, there's an awesome spinner out there.
There is Typhoon. They're looking nice, but...
Can that do any damage to your shell?
Well, we've got 6mm titanium all around the sides, 12mm on the front.
Yeah.
We think they'll cause as much damage to themselves as they will to us if they hit us.
Yeah, but the force that it hits you with, could it dislodge anything inside? I mean...
Well, we hit the walls at that sort of force.
You do hit the wall a lot. Our arena's taken a right pace than any time you've been in the arena.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, go ballistic for Storm 2!
Storm 2.
Very progressive, very impressive. The machine of Ed Hobbit, Tim Benson, Merrill Kolak.
Firestorm V.
The old stages. Will they again finish third in the competition? Can they win it this time, Graham Bone and Hazel Heslock?
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the House Robots, Growler. First time we've seen him in the semi-finals. Matilda in there again.
3, 2, 1.
Storm 2 is the most impressive robot of its type since the emergence of Tornado. Might even be better than Tornado. Will survive here, though, against the formidable flipper that is Firestorm 5. And for me, only a game of opinions, the best driver in the competition in Graham Bone. Backing away. Isn't that just like it? I say he's a good driver, he hits the arena sidewall. That's in underneath Storm 2, though. And the Storm 2 bounced. Did something come away? I don't know whether you noticed that. Firestorm 5 again crashes against the arena wall as Hazel looks on. Design draftswoman by trade. Storm 2 behind Firestorm 5. That's interesting. In underneath. Pit was released. Down it goes. Firestorm 5 dangerous. This for a place in the grand final. Firestorm 5 have been there before twice. But Storm 2 suddenly look menacing, and they're on top, I would say. They have the side skirts to ward off flippers. They have the aggression, they have the 18 horsepower drive. Firestorm 5 is piggybacking its way towards the pit and just turns out in the end. That's good driving. Slammed against the angle grinder. Storm 2 is getting stronger as this fight goes on, and Firestorm 5 weakening. The veterans need something. Storm 2 again, the push. Firestorm 5 gone. No grand final this time for Graham and Hazel. A wedding day to look forward to, but no grand final day on Robot War. Storm 2 through.
Turn up for the books. The 16 seed beat the second seed. Storm 2 through to the grand final. Took out the second seeds.
16 seed takes out the second seed.
I know, that is a turn up for the books, isn't it?
There's only one left from there, isn't there?
I tell you what, do you think you can have Tornado, though? Because, I mean, you know I like reminding you. You are a kind of tornado-based robot, really, aren't you?
Same concept.
Yeah. Fancy going head-to-head with them?
We'd love to.
Do you think you can have them?
Yes.
You think you're going to win this, don't you?
Oh, yes.
You really can't.
We're in with a chance now.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a robot. This is Storm 2.
Ipswich in Suffolk. Storm 2.
Impressed us as new blood champions and has got better and better.
So, we've got to think tactically here. You're a very similar machine.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in there with him?
Tornado's weakness is being stacked up against the arena wall. They've gone out before for being stuck against the arena wall. We're lucky. If we get up there, we can probably work our way off with the arm. But we think the most likely weapon they'll use against us is their scoop with a flail that comes through it. So if we can get round, get them into the arena wall and get them wedged up against it or stuck against it, we think we're in with a good chance.
Absolutely crucial here. 18 horsepower on the drive, twice the power of Tornado, and also has a lifting weapon to expose that Tornado ground clearance.
Roboteers, stand by.
For the two teams then, Storm 2, Ed Hobbit, Tim Bence and Meryl Kolach. And Tornado, Andrew Marchant on the left-hand side, David Gamble and Brian Moss with him. So Killock's with them too, out in the arena. And Cassius Chrome. And this for a place in the final of the grand final.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Two very similar machines. Tornado and Storm 2, both 100 kilos in weight. Storm 2 trying to get in underneath that ground clearance. You see it shove them to the arena sidewall. Oh, and they spun away and crashed into the wall themselves. Tornado, good driving away by Andrew Marchant. Very, very experienced. They're fighting for the 4th time in the wars. Now Tornado, the big heave-ho towards the angle grinder. Tornado, the experienced machine. Storm 2, the whippersnappers, the new boys, came through the new Blood Championship route, gaining automatic entry into the UK Championships. Tornado, an invertible machine, can run either way up. Can't get the front scoop in underneath Storm 2 in that mode, though. And Tornado on the defensive momentarily, and again, oh! Some shove there from Storm 2. Tornado bouncing away. When you get two pushing boxes like this, it could come down to durability. Which machine can sustain most damage within? Not exposed damage, not superficial damage, but damage to the machinery, the electronics, and so much biffing and bashing. And Storm 2 doing the chasing. A Storm and a Tornado out there. And a battle that is blowing hot and cold for both. It's Storm 2, the aggressor there, but Tornado turning away, dodging, good driving once again, good style. Won't mind going up and over Storm 2 like that. It's not sustaining any damage, and Storm 2 not really point scoring to any great degree. That was a good attack though. Tornado bouncing away. They know they're in a battle here, the defending champions. Let's look at this again. Against the arena wall, fizzing away and bouncing down. Listen, can you hear the little flail? Tornado's little flail is not doing much damage. Storm 2 is though. The flail not doing any damage really for Tornado. And Storm 2 on top here. And the ref bot has pressed the pit release. And Tornado's been caught. Oh, just away. The champions were very nearly out. Tornado here, I think, on the brink of defeat at the penultimate hurdle of their title defense. I don't think we're going to see a repeat of Chaos 2's historic title defense as Storm 2 nags and gnaws away against the champions. It goes to a judge's decision. And they look at Ed Hoppett and Tim Bence and Meryl Kolach as their machine spins.
Well. Tense, isn't it? A little bit. Judges made the decision. Your weapon was damaged. It wasn't working, was it? Because if you ever needed a weapon in a fight, you needed a weapon there. You were also very aggressive, weren't you? They've gone for Storm! Sorry to tease you there. You taught them all they know about roboteering.
It's the next generation of Tornado.
Yeah,
it's more powerful, it's stronger, it's better armoured.
Yeah. You don't work so effectively upside down, do you?
No, and we've got no way of getting back over, so...
Yeah. You were the UK champions for a year, you've lost the title. Good year for you?
Oh, it was great fun.
You know, are you going to come back and try and reclaim your title next year?
I think we'll have a go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please go ballistic for Team Tornado! Teaching the masters.
Yeah, that was that was a bit tactical. That was you said the weapon wasn't working. The weapon was working. It did exactly what it was designed to do. Turned them over.
Really? I just didn't see it go up at all.
Turned them over. That's why they were running upside down. Once they're upside down, all they
didn't want to flip them back again.
They just ran up against us. It would have been silly to turn them back.
Yeah, fair enough. One more fight to go, and you could be the new champions of the 7th Wars. Who would you rather fight?
I think we'd rather take on Typhoon.
Why Typhoon? Because I find Typhoon to be the most destructive robot in the competition.
Well, yeah, but you see, we've still got this very thick armour on the sides. Well, they'll hit it, and I think they'll cause as much damage to themselves as they will to us.
Are you the fastest robot in Robot Wars?
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to run away at first, aren't they?
They'll try, but we'll catch them.
You're about 25 miles an hour, is it?
Yeah, you cannot outrun the storm.
The trick with what a tagline, sir. a little brain constantly working, isn't it? Constantly working, sir. You can't outrun the storm. Can you raise the roof for Storm?
Ed. You saw that last fight, did you?
Against the Exterminator?
Yes.
I did.
What did you think?
I think I did very well. I was very impressed. But Exterminator is a weakly built robot. Aluminium chassis, very, very thin scoop. Scoop's only made out of 2 mil thick titanium. I don't know how they're going to fare against us. They've never hit anything as hard as this. So I'm quite confident. I think we've got the speed to catch up with them. Gary was saying that his tactic is to run away, basically, and spin up to speed. So they'll be tactically running away from us. We'll be tactically chasing after them. And once we get near them, once we get that disc stopped, I think it's going to be curtains for them. We can flip them over, we can put them where we want. To be honest, I'm not particularly bothered about them.
Storm 2.
Very strong, very quick, very impressive. Merrill Kolach, Tim Bentz, Ed Hoppett.
Typhoon 2.
Rotating cone with the claw hammers on the side. The machine of Corporal Gary Cairns, Sergeant Graham Horn, Flying Officer Peter Bennett, their teammates.
Roboteers, stand by.
The frenzy building. Jane's got caught up with it. She's right by the side of the arena. Matilda's in the arena, in the war zone, for the house robots. And completing our gruesome twosome is
3,
Killalot.
2, 1. Activate.
This for the UK title, champions of the 7th Wars. Typhoon 2 allowed to get up to spinning speed and bouncing away. Deflected away off Storm 2's front scoop, or maybe the side skirt. Now that's interesting, certainly withstanding the first bash from Typhoon 2. Only a deflecting blow, nothing more. They look pensive. This is going to be the hardest battle they've faced, the boys from the Edinburgh Air Cadets. Storm 2 giving chase. Surely they can't expect to get in underneath Typhoon 2's ground clearance. It's 0.5 centimetre, but they're moving too quickly, I would have thought. Again, deflecting away. Piggybacking up on top of Storm 2, and Storm 2 lifting Typhoon 2. Very close to the arena wall.
If it goes over, that's it.
They're right in front of Jane over there. If it does go over, it's all over. But Typhoon lives to fight another moment or two. This is close stuff. Now, they're vulnerable when they're not up to full gyroscopic speed. And at the moment, it's like pinball out there. And again, Storm 2 giving chase, and Typhoon 2 is really up against it. Storm 2, with the pushing power of a tornado and the clever use of the flipper of a firestorm, is really on top here now. Typhoon, slams another great chunk out of the arena.
Smash the arena.
Seats is called. They smashed the arena. Second time this has happened in the grand final, Jane.
It's done it again. Smash the arena. Once again, that is one powerful, powerfully destructive machine out there, Derek. They've done it again to your beautiful arena.
I keep breaking my stage. They're terrible, aren't they?
Derek's very upset about this.
We'll mend it and we'll go again. No problem.
Judges, what do we think so far?
Well, it's very even so far, isn't it? It's a real shame they've destroyed that sheet out there, but I don't think it's a huge problem.
Perhaps Storm at the present moment is ever so slightly ahead, but it can go either way. We've got to see the damage, as Noel rightly says.
It could go either way. It is just an amazingly explosive battle, as you can see, the arena's now in bits, but they're going to restart it very soon.
What do you think, guys? Should Typhoon 2 and Storm 2, should they keep on fighting? The arena has now been repaired. But what about the robots?
Well, Craig, I can tell you, the two grand finalists are back in the war zone. Typhoon 2 and Storm 2. And the judges once again allowing the Typhoon 2 team to spin up the speed they were at before the cease was called.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Storm 2 on top before the cease, according to the judges, and again pursuing Typhoon 2. Typhoon 2 takeoff, bounces down again. Matilda very close. Storm 2 pushing them into that CPZ and trying to lever them out of the arena. Storm 2 notching up points by the second here, and by my crude reckoning, ahead in this grand final. And the Edinburgh Air Cadets team look mighty, mighty worried. I think the way they reached this grand final would have had them as favourites. Oh, and just then, angling away off the pit, off a little chink maybe on the arena floor, but they're very close to the pit this side. The pit has opened. Typhoon 2, was that a turning point in the finals? They just moved away at a curious angle from the pit. Storm 2's chase has slowed. Very curiously, I think that was a turning point, as they literally turned right. And Typhoon 2 under pressure again from Storm 2, but is it just me, or is there as much menace about the Storm 2 push now? Perhaps there is. They got Typhoon 2 into the CPZ, and in comes Matilda. And certainly the grand final favourites are up against it here. Storm 2 closing again. Typhoon 2 can't get up to spinning speed. Very, very level still though, and only seconds remain. Storm 2 away. Oh, what's happened to Storm 2? They've taken some damage on the front. Where on earth did that happen? That is major damage to Storm 2. As the grand final turned again. What a twister this was. The judges will have to decide it. Look at the damage later on. I just wonder whether that will be decisive after all their hard work. Well, they are our three wise men. No question, Storm 2 the more aggressive. Early on, levering Typhoon to spinning submission. They couldn't spin. Typhoon came back strongly, I felt. Again pursued by Storm 2, a little hop and a jump. But they were spinning and causing damage at that moment. Levered up. I think it turned there as they bounced away, dodged the pit. Storm 2 went in and somewhere here sustained major damage. That could be crucial.
Because damage is the important criterion in the scoring, it's important we're very clear about the damage that's done to each robot. The aggression is obvious, the control's obvious, the style's obvious, but the damage from where we're sitting is not obvious. No significant bodywork damage, is there?
Which way is it gonna go?
It's nerve-wracking up here. The judges are still making their decision. One of the most controversial and incident-filled finals we've ever had on Robot Wars. I'm going to ask the audience, if you think that Typhoon 2 won, make some noise! If you think that Storm 2 won, make some noise! Well, if it was down to the audience, I think you guys swung it. But as you know, it's down to the judges. The judges said that style was won by Typhoon 2. They said that control was won by Storm 2. They said that aggression was also won by Storm 2. They've said that damage
there's a bit of your robot back.
Thank you.
Was won by Typhoon 2. Now, because of the way the scoring is awarded for those categories, damage carries more weight. They've gone for Typhoon!
Controversy in the war zone. The audience are not happy with the decision. The judges aren't happy with the decision. But it was unanimous because of the way it's loaded in the scoring. How do you feel about that?
Bit gutted.
The judges did inspect the damage personally, and to be fair, Typhoon looks like a brand new robot.
To lose one body panel against Typhoon, where other people were coming out in a bin bag, is pretty good going.
Yeah, you must be very proud that it's still in one piece.
Yeah.
You won the New Blood Championship, and you've just gone out in the grand final. You came second. I mean, what a robot. Any improvements for next year?
Yeah, I'm going to learn to weld.
You're going to learn to weld. Ladies and gentlemen, please, what a robot! Go ballistic for Storm 2!